They don't even know about the super amazing opportunities available out there in the world. They were just like, that is my dream company. My dream is to place in a multinational company. Seriously, you are investing more than 10 lakhs on your degree and still your dream is to work 9 to 5 for almost 10 to 15 lakh base pay. This is crazy. Let's start. So hey, what is up everyone? My name is Sagar and we are back here with another video of guidance playlist. This is the third video of the playlist, so check out our previous videos if you haven't yet. Links are in the description. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss everything about open source. And I am going to answer your most frequently asked questions like what is open source, why you should contribute to it, and how to get started. And in this video, I will also show you a live practical example by contributing to one repository. And watch till the very end to know about the amazing opportunities you can get via open source. So without making any further ado, let's get started. So our first question is, what is open source? Let's find out. So according to Red Hat, open source is an open source software. Open source is basically a term that refers to open source software, but we are here to talk about your contributions to those softwares. But what are open source softwares? Let me clear that first. Open source software is a computer software that is released under a license, in which the copyright holder grants user to use, study, change, or distribute the software and its source code to anyone for any purpose. But that is just a geeky definition from the internet. Let me explain it to you. So open source softwares are that particular kind of softwares which have their whole code base available on the internet. Like you might have heard of Telegram. It is an open source software. As you can see, you have all the access to its code. Okay, now you know what are open source software. They are just free to use, open for modification, and you can also have your own copy of the whole software. Copy? Seriously? If we are just talking about the copy of the whole code, that is totally fine. But if you are thinking you can clone the whole software and release it under your name, you are going to be in trouble. No, you are gonna die. That's totally illegal. Every single software is released under a license and you can't just copy and release it under your name for any monetizations. Okay, now we know what are these softwares, but why should you contribute to them? And how is it going to benefit you to invest your time, your efforts, your hard work for someone else's project? See, these open source softwares are not owned by anyone. Yes, you are right. They have their repository owners. But I didn't mean that. What I'm trying to say is those softwares are developed under a collaborative manner. So when you contribute and add some value to the software, you can probably say, I developed that thing or I resolved that issue. The main reason why you should contribute to them is you are using them. There is more than 90% chances that you are using some open source software. So that will be an amazing experience to contribute on some project that you are already using. Another great reason I can tell you is if your contribution adds some value to the software, you are gonna get a global level of appreciation. And while you are working on the software, you will be connecting with people all over the world. And with your amazing work, you will be definitely getting future offers from the organizations. So there is a win-win situation if you contribute to open source softwares. This will upskill your knowledge, you will get to work on real life problems, and this will also shine in your resume. See, showing your work in public on LinkedIn or Twitter is important, but imagine how much difference it is going to make when you add your amazing contributions in your resume. You are getting real world experience, and by adding it to your resume, you are gonna stand out from the crowd. And there are so many amazing opportunities you can get by contributing to open source. Okay, now talking about that thing you just saw in the thumbnail. Why I even used that? Is this video a clickbait? No, let me clear that for you. First of all, open source contributions and these 9 to 5 jobs are totally different. I met so many people who are just limited to those FAANG companies. They don't even know about the super amazing opportunities available out there in the world. They were just like, that is my dream company. My dream is to place in a multinational company. Seriously, you are investing more than 10 lakhs on your degree and still your dream is to work 9 to 5 for almost 10 to 15 lakh base pay. This is crazy. But how am I even saying that? I am not an overachiever. I am not working in these big tech companies. What I am doing is just not following the mob mentality. I know so many amazing people who are working freely and earning more than these companies base pay. I am not saying these things are bad or anything. I am just awareing you people about the amazing opportunities available out there. Don't be just limited to these companies. Make it a short-term goal and explore the world. I am again saying I am just sharing my perspective, and jobs in these companies are not bad. Everyone have their own perspective. According to me, they are just overrated and people need to know about the amazing opportunities available out there. So coming back to the point, now let me talk about the prerequisites that are required for you to get started in open source. The first one is Git and GitHub. Git is a version control system and a very important tool that you should use while working on some projects. There are other VCS also available, but Git is on steroids. You can learn about this from documentations, or you can just find out some video on YouTube. And if you want me to make a video on this, let me know in the comment section. The second basic thing that is required to get started is a programming language. There is no constraint for any language. You can easily find softwares based on your favorite language. If you are a beginner and confused in choosing your first language, check out this video I recently made. Links are in the description. The last one important thing that you should learn before making your contribution is a tech stack. It's totally up to you. You can go with mobile dev, web dev, security, cloud, or any other thing. But wait, you don't need to learn everything. When you are comfortable in your particular domain, just go and start making your contributions. Find some project, use it, understand the issues, and learn the things on the go. That's totally fine if you are working on something and learning it parallelly. Okay, now you learned all these stuffs, but how can you find softwares or projects for contributions? Let me show you. Here, when you are logged into your GitHub account, you can find the explore section up right there. Just click on it. And now you have to go to the topic section. Here you can browse for all popular topics that are available on GitHub. You can see here Firefox and GitHub API. Now you just need to find the one with your interest. So let us suppose I choose Android. And now here you will get literally infinite numbers of repositories that are available for your contribution. Okay, now that seems something interesting, so let me choose that one. Here you can see there are multiple things in this repository, and you can see here there are total of 125 contributors. So when you want to contribute to this project, you can do it either by raising issues or solving them. As you can see here in the issues section, you can find different problems that are faced by users. Let me just check that one. Here you can read the description of the problem that this user is facing. So first of all, you have to use the project to understand the actual issue, and you can just start working on it if you want to. Now let me show you some another famous project. We will just go back to our explore tab and topics, and here we will just select JavaScript as our topic. And at the very top, as you can see, free code camp is also there. So I will just click on it, and here you can also sponsor this project. And as you can also see, there are more than 4,000 people who are contributing to this repository. And you can understand this project with its readme file. So here you can see free code camp, open source codebase and curriculum. And there is table of contents. So when you have to contribute to some project, you should know about it. It's not necessary that you have to read all of its code base. You need to know just about the things that are required for your contributions. You can just go here in the issue section. And I forgot one thing, that you can search issues with labels. So when you want to find a beginner friendly issue, you just need to search for good first issues. As you can see here, it is a little bit different tag, but it is for beginners. So let me click on that. But there is currently no active issue with this tag. So what you can do is just check out the closed one issues, and you just need to find whether you can make some improvements or not. As you can see, it is a beginner friendly issue and it have a title of format issue in documentation. That's totally fine for a beginner. And remember, whenever you are raising some issue, your explanation should be descriptive. But is that the only way to find projects? No, you can connect with different people, maybe on Twitter or any other social platform. Maybe they want your contribution. Or you can just join some communities. Communities are awesome. If you are stuck in any kind of problem, just go and ask in the community. Learn to ask questions in public. Even if you think your question is lame, don't hesitate, just go and ask. People are always there for help. It should not be like you just joined a community and you forget it. If you do this, it will be like joining a gym and not doing any exercises. Be a part of the community. Learn to participate in the discussions. Share your perspective and stand out from the crowd. Now let me tell you how I made my first contribution. I remember it was in Hacktoberfest 21 when I get to know about all these stuffs. Hacktoberfest is just an open source festival where you will get amazing swags for your contributions. For more details, you can just go to their official platform. There I just learned how to make contributions like pull request and all. And after some time, I made my first contribution to one Udacity project repository, which was just a version update. See, that thing is not necessary that you should start with a huge contribution. Making small improvements are also good. Being active in the community is also very important. Small and steady steps every day will definitely make you grow. Remember, it's a marathon, not a pace. So be consistent and keep going. Now let me show you how you can make your contribution to some repository. As you can see here, this is a sample repository that we just created to show you how the things will actually work. First of all, when you want to contribute to someone's project, you should have your own copy of that repository, because you can't just modify it to the main code base, as this could be wild. You can create your own copy by just forking to that repository. As you can see up right there, there is an option to fork the repository. You just need to click on that. I have already forked to that project. As you can see here, contribution practice forked from Pawan Bhatt contribution practice. There you can see it is showing contribution practice 1. You will get the exact same name that main repository have. I am having it different because this is second time I am forking that repository, because first time our recording just crashed. So now you are just free to do anything because it is now your version of that project. Before contributing, we have to use the stuffs that are there in the repository, because that's how we are gonna know about the issues or anything else in the project. So in there, as you can see, we have only one file, that is sum.py. This is a basic Python program to find sum of 3 numbers. We used Python language for our example because it is very similar to the pseudocode. So it will be more easy to understand for everyone. So first of all, we have to use that program. So I will copy that and paste it on some online random compiler. And when I am running that program, it is showing me an error. As we are having an error, I will just raise an issue on the main repository. So let me copy paste that. And I will just go there on the main repository. In the issue section, I will just create a new issue. I will just copy that error here. And always remember to add some comments that defines your error. As you can see here, styling with markdown is supported. Markdown have a lot of different things in there. If you want me to make a video on that, let me know in the comment section. So here for an example, I am just writing having an error. And I will just submit my issue. Now you can see there is one open issue. You can see here type error, some function takes 2 positional arguments but 3 were given. So let's find out what is the actual problem. As you can see, there is a sum function which is taking 2 parameters, our first number and second number, and it is returning some of these numbers. But here when we are making our function call, we are giving it 3 inputs, that is 3, 4 and 5. So here we can just do two things. Either we can just remove one of three numbers, but as you can see here, there is a command that says this should print the sum of 3, 4 and 5. So we have to make changes to our function. So let me just add a third parameter to our function, that is third number. So our final sum will be the sum of these three numbers that are there in the input. So now let's run that code, and that is working now. So let me now copy that, and I will just paste it in my repository. Before committing to your changes, always remember, you should write some description that defines your changes. So I will just write here error solved. And now coming back to the home page, as now we have just resolved the issue. There you can see this branch is one commit ahead from the main branch. You can just click on that contribute option and you can just open a pull request. And here you can see the base repository is Pawan Bhatt contribution practice, and you can see there is a head repository. Down there you can also see the changes that we just made. So let me just create that pull request, and here in the comments you can just tag that issue you just created, and I will just say I resolved that issue. Now creating pull request. And as you can see there on the main repository, I will just merge that pull request, and now the pull request is just merged to the main branch, and here our issue is resolved. So now we have successfully contributed to this repository. But remember, this was just a tutorial. This is not the correct way you should do the things. First of all, you have to learn the concepts of Git and GitHub, and then you have to install the project in your local system. This is just an introductory video. There are so many amazing things in open source. In future, I will be making more videos on open source. For now, if you want to learn things in detail, you can check out Eddie John Day YouTube channel. Hope the pronunciation is correct. All links are there in the description. Now let me tell you what things will count under contribution. We just saw when you found any error, you raise an issue. So that's definitely a contribution. And when you resolve some issue and make your pull request, that also count under contribution, right? So is that it? No, every small thing matters. Your participation in the discussions, your code reviews, everything counts under contributions. Even if you are making any small changes, whether it is a code or not. Yes, non-code contributions are also there. If you are just updating README files or adding comments or updating documentations, these are also contributions. As now you know all these amazing things, so start working on it, make your first contribution and let us know in the comment section. Now let me tell you about another super amazing thing that you might have heard of, and that is Google Summer of Code. Yes, it is there. If you don't know about it, let me tell you that it is the biggest international open source program. It is organized by Google every year, in which Google awards stipends up to $3,000 to the contributors who completes this program during the summer. It has so many things to cover that we can create a whole video on this. So if you want, let me know in the comment section. But here, let me give you a brief. Here you can see the whole timeline. I will share this link in the description. So basically, there are some mentoring organizations who submits their application to Google, and after some reviewing period, Google will just release the list of accepted organizations. At the time of making this video, list of organizations are already published and discussion period is going on. It's not too late to get you started. If you are comfortable with prerequisites that are required, you should go and select some project that you want to work on and start your discussion with organizations. After that, from 4th of April, your application period begins. And in this, you will be also assigned a mentor who will be guiding you through the whole program. So keeping it brief, you can see all other things on the website itself. And if you are having any doubts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. So now wrapping up all this, start your work, make contribution, stay motivated, and always remember, when you are having anonymous haters, you know you are on the right path.